10 magic exercises to big leg fast, leg workout. Exercise 1. Sit on a 45-degree leg press machine, placing your feet wider than shoulder width on the platform with your toes slightly pointed outward. Ensure your back and hips are firmly against the pad. Engage your core and glutes, then unlock the sled by pressing through your heels. Slowly lower the weight until your knees are at about a 90-degree angle, or slightly deeper if flexibility allows. Press the weight back up by driving through your heels and outer thighs, fully extending your legs without locking your knees. Use a moderate to heavy weight, but avoid sacrificing form. Keep your knees aligned with your toes and prevent them from caving inward. Exhale as you press up. Inhale as you lower down. Exercise 2. Stand on the sled hack squat machine with your back against the pad and your feet positioned wider than shoulder width on the platform, with your toes slightly pointed outward. Keep your core engaged and shoulders pressed into the pad. Unlock the machine, then slowly lower yourself by bending your knees until your thighs are at least parallel to the platform. Pause briefly at the bottom, then push through your heels to return to the starting position, fully extending your legs, but not locking your knees. Use a moderate to heavy weight, but maintain strict form to avoid knee strain. Keep your knees aligned with your toes and prevent them from caving inward. Perform slow, controlled reps for maximum muscle activation and avoid bouncing at the bottom. Exercise 3. Stand under the Smith machine bar, positioning it across your upper traps. Step your feet forward slightly, about hip-width apart, so when you squat, your thighs will be parallel to the floor, mimicking a seated position. Keep your core engaged and your back straight. Lower yourself until your thighs form a 90-degree angle, as if sitting in an invisible chair. Hold this position briefly, then push through your heels to return to the starting position. Use a moderate weight to maintain strict form and avoid excessive knee strain. Keep your knees aligned with your toes and avoid letting them go too far forward. Exhale as you push up. Inhale as you lower down. This quadriceps dominant exercise also engages the glutes and core, making it effective for lower body strength. Exercise 4. Stand under the Smith machine bar, positioning it slightly lower on your upper back, just above your rear delts. Grip the bar wider than shoulder width, keeping your wrists straight and your elbows pointing slightly down and back. Step your feet slightly forward, about shoulder width apart, and engage your core. Lower yourself by pushing your hips back and bending your knees until your thighs are parallel to the floor, or deeper if flexibility allows. Pause briefly, then push through your heels to return to the starting position. Use a moderate to heavy weight, but ensure proper form to prevent knee or back strain. Keep your chest up and your back neutral throughout the movement. Perform slow, controlled reps for maximum muscle engagement. Exercise 5. Sit on the leg extension machine, adjusting the seat height so your knees align with the machine's pivot point. Position the leg pad just above your ankles and grip the handles for stability. Engage your quadriceps, then extend your legs fully, straightening your knees while keeping control of the movement. Squeeze your quads at the top, then slowly lower the weight back down to the starting position in a controlled manner. Use a moderate weight to avoid knee strain and maintain strict form. Keep your back flat against the pad and avoid locking your knees at the top. Exhale as you extend your legs, inhale as you lower the weight. Perform slow, controlled reps for maximum quad activation. Adjust the seat and pad for optimal comfort and full range of motion. Exercise 6. Sit on the seated leg curl machine, adjusting the seat and backrest so your knees align with the machine's pivot point. Position the leg pad just above your ankles, and ensure the thigh pad is secured over your thighs to prevent movement. Grip the handles for stability. Engage your hamstrings, then curl your legs downward, bringing your heels toward your glutes. Squeeze your hamstrings at the bottom, then slowly return to the starting position in a controlled motion. Use a moderate weight to maintain strict form and prevent using momentum. Keep your back flat against the pad and avoid lifting your hips off the seat. Exhale as you curl your legs down. Inhale as you return. Perform slow, controlled reps to maximize hamstring activation. Exercise 7. Sit on the hip abduction machine, adjusting the seat so your knees align with the outer thigh pads. Place your feet flat on the footrests and grip the handles for stability. Engage your glutes and outer thighs, then press your legs outward against the resistance. Open your legs as far as possible while maintaining control, squeezing your glute medius at the peak. Slowly return to the starting position, keeping tension on the muscles throughout the movement. Use a moderate weight to maintain strict form and avoid momentum. Keep your core engaged and avoid leaning forward. Exhale as you push your legs outward. Inhale as you return. You can also lean slightly forward to shift more focus onto the glutes rather than the hip flexors. Exercise 8. Sit on the floor with your upper back resting against a bench and a barbell positioned across your hips. Bend your knees, keeping your feet flat and shoulder width apart. Engage your core and glutes, then press through your heels, lifting your hips until your body forms a straight line from shoulders to knees. Squeeze your glutes at the top, then slowly lower your hips back down in a controlled motion. Use a bar pad for comfort when using a barbell. Keep your chin tucked and eyes forward to maintain proper posture. Exhale as you thrust up. Inhale as you lower down. To increase difficulty, pause at the top or add resistance bands for extra tension. The hip thrust is one of the best exercises for glute development, emphasizing the glute max while also engaging the hamstrings and core. Exercise 9. Hold a dumbbell in each hand or place a barbell on your upper back. Stand with your feet hip-width apart and step one foot forward into a deep lunge position. Lower your back knee as close to the ground as possible while keeping your front shin vertical. Hold this deep stretch position for a second, then push through your front heel to return to the starting position. Repeat on the other leg. Use a moderate weight to maintain balance and control. Keep your chest up and core engaged to prevent leaning too far forward. Exhale as you push up. Inhale as you lower down. To emphasize the stretch and hip mobility, take a longer step forward and focus on full range of motion. Perform slow, controlled reps for maximum muscle engagement in the quads, glutes, and hamstrings. Exercise 10. Stand inside a trap bar, hex bar, with your feet hip-width apart and the handles aligned with your midfoot. Bend at your hips and knees, keeping your back straight and chest up, and grip the neutral handles, palms facing in. Engage your core and lats, then push through your heels to lift the weight, extending your hips and knees simultaneously. Stand fully upright, squeezing your glutes at the top. Slowly lower the weight back down by hinging at your hips first, then bending your knees, keeping control throughout. Use a moderate to heavy weight, but maintain strict form to prevent lower back strain. Keep the bar close to your body and your spine neutral throughout the movement. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower.